I mean, dude, it's opening day, and I've sat here for 20 minutes. I've got a doe on the corn right now, and I just shot a 150-inch deer. I know, but I mean, I just shot Loki. Alright guys, so the story of Loki. This is a story that does not truly have much history or backstory to go with it. It's pretty basic, but we had our first trail cam picture of this buck last year as a wraparound 10-pointer. He was not even close to being our biggest or most mature buck on the farm. So me and Trent both had our eyes set on a different buck, and we chased hard after them two, and them being Thanos and Twin Towers. So unfortunately, that season came to an end. Me or Trent, neither one was able to fill a tag last year. It just didn't work out in our favor, and he got some pictures of some bucks this off season at a couple other farms, other places to hunt. So I kind of set my eyes toward the farm we hunted last year and put a lot of days, a lot of hours, a lot of work into that farm. We hung new sets. Put in a food plot, which comes into play. And for the first time in many, many years, they put the 3 main fields on this farm in soybeans. And it didn't do as good as we were hoping it would do, but I think it definitely has a positive effect on the farm. But that's kind of going into this season what we did to the farm to help maybe better our odds. And we put out those first cell cams and trail cameras, and I put my cell cam at a stand that we call the bottom stand, which is the stand I encountered Thanos in last year. And the first couple pictures, does a couple small bucks, and it was probably about a week or two, and I got my first picture of Loki. My game plan was to not go after that buck opening morning. I decided I can't get in there in the mornings. Why push it and test it and maybe bump that deer out of there? It's not worth it. So my game plan that morning, we had some rough weather coming in, which I knew would limit my opportunities of hunting opening weekend. So my hopes were not very high, but the game plan itself, test my luck, go to the food plot stand opening morning. It is September 2nd here in Kentucky. We are 1 day away from opening day of bow hunting here, so we are pumped. We are ready to be in the stand tomorrow morning bright and early. I'm going to do some last minute shooting, make sure everything's good still. I've been shooting quite a bit. Everything's been good so far, so I'm going to say it will be, but we'll game plan for tomorrow. My target deer, Loki, we named him after the big deer we had last year that we named Thanos. We kind of just got on a little Marvel trend right there. So we named this deer Loki. He's probably about a 150-inch deer. We think we had him last year. We had a wraparound 10-pointer last year with almost the exact same frame as this deer. And a lot of resemblance there. We're not 100% sure, but we're pretty sure that's the same deer. So he's been really consistent, mainly in the evenings, but I woke up this morning to my cell cam going off at about 8:45, 9 o'clock, and it was Loki at the stand he's never been in the morning. So I get in there really early and climb up in the stand, get everything situated, get the camera screwed in, all that situated, spray down really good, make sure keep my sweat to a minimum. I sat there, I kept my hat off, I tried to minimize my sweat as much as I could. So I'm sitting there. Like I said, I got in there really early. It's at this point still extremely dark outside. Can't see nothing. And I hear leaves crunching behind me. And I instantly knew it was a deer. And it comes almost under my tree, about 5 yards from my tree, and works its way out into the plot. And at this point I can see a black body, but I cannot see what it is, the size of the body, caliber deer, nothing. I figured it was a doe. Sure enough, it got light enough to see, and I picked my rangefinder up. And when I looked through that rangefinder, I seen the frame of Loki. That fawn starts to leave. And I told myself, I said, he's going to spin around just like she did and follow her out of this plot out into the soybeans. So she spun and started to leave, and sure enough, he read the script. As soon as he spun, I told myself it was my opportunity, and I drew back and settled it in on him, followed him as he was walking, and that fawn stopped right at the end of my shooting lane, and I was not able to shoot where she stopped. So I was praying that he would stop behind her rather than with her. And sure enough, when she stopped in that non-shooting lane, he stopped right at the edge of my shooting lane. And I unfortunately was not able to get the shot on video. I just freaking shot Loki, baby. I just shot Loki. I never thought I would see him at this stand. You've got to be kidding me. I never thought I would see him at this stand. We're up in the food plot right now, and the stand he's been at is a good couple 100 yards down this hill, and probably a little farther than that. But I bought a bag of corn. I dumped a bag of corn out. There's just one bag out in this food plot, and you can't get into that bottom stand in the mornings. You'll bump deer out. So I decided I was going to come to this food plot today to probably shoot a doe, which I've got one on the corn right now. But I sat here, I had been set up for 10-15 minutes, and I had a deer come right under my stand, and I had no idea what deer it was. It was pitch black dark. Well, it sat on that corn pile for 25 minutes, and a fawn came in and followed in with it. And it finally got daylight enough to see. I put the rangefinder up to it, and I seen what deer it was. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. That fawn spun around and he went to leave. And Loki turned around and started following him right with him. And he stopped right out here in front of me. I just shot a 150-inch deer with my bow. I just shot a 150-inch deer with my bow. I'm not sure how well I hit him. It was still really low light, but I got a luminarc on my bow. I mean on my arrow, and I mean the arrow went in him. Felt good, looked good, sounded good. I didn't hear the deer fall, but leaves aren't as crunchy this time of morning or anything like that either. So it don't feel real. It does not feel real. Oh my God, dude. I just shot a 150-inch deer with my bow. I just shot Loki. I've wanted a deer in velvet for the last 3 years, and I've not been able to do it. I had an encounter with Thanos last year, wasn't able to get it done. And I've shot and shot and shot and shot my bow this off season to be the best shot I can possibly be. And it just paid off right there. Thank you, Lord. It just paid off. I've made my phone calls and everything, so I'm gonna sit right here. I'm gonna chill and just give it some time. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that. I really wish I would have heard the deer fall, but I mean, I think I hit him pretty good, so thank you, Lord. I do not deserve that at all. Yes, baby, yes. I mean, I just shot Loki. 18 yards. I mean, dude, it's opening day, and I've sat here for 20 minutes. I've got a doe on the corn right now, and I just shot a 150-inch deer. Yeah. Dude, I can't. I just shot him dead. Full velvet, 18 yards. I just shot him. In the stand, I never thought I would see him at. I think it was good. It was super low light. It felt good, looked good. I mean, the Luminark was dead in him. I got good penetration. It wasn't a clean pass through, but I mean, I think I drilled him. I'm gonna sit till about 7 o'clock. It's 6:30 right now. I shot the deer like right before 6 o'clock. So I truly may have shot the first deer in the state of Kentucky. I did that 2 years ago too. I shot a doe opening morning, and I shot her at like 5:50 one morning. But I'm gonna sit here till about 7. That gives the deer about an hour, and I'm gonna get down. I'm gonna check for blood. The arrow was in him, so I wish I would have got a clean pass through, but the arrow's in him. So, but I'm gonna get down at about 30 minutes. I'm gonna check for blood, see kind of how it looks, and I've already got people on their way, so we're gonna give the deer time, especially once I kind of get down and see what it's like. We're gonna give the deer some time, just to play it safe. So I'm pumped. It's always kind of worried when you don't hear them fall. You start second guessing yourself, but I mean, it felt good, it looked good, and it sounded good. So to not hear the deer fall, I feel pretty confident about my shot. So fingers crossed, but I'm pretty sure the deer's down. So I'm pumped. Like I said, I never thought it would happen. I never in a million years thought I would see that deer here, especially opening day, and much less the first deer. The first deer I've seen of the 2022-2023 season was my shooter buck, and I've been trying to pattern this deer. I mean, everything. Cell cam's going off right now, but I'll show y'all this. Right here, I've went through, I've put in every date he was there, the degrees, what moon it was, what time he got there, what time he left, which stand we had him at. I've tried to pattern this deer while he's on his summer pattern as good as I possibly can. So, to do all that, to come in and hang these sets, this is the first time we've ever hunted this area of this farm. We've hunted this place for 3 years now. David's hunted it a lot longer. He's hunted it for years and years. But this is the first place, this is the first time we've came in, put a food plot here. I got this 2-seater stand on one of my moving jobs. I was moving a guy, and he told me, he asked if I hunted, and I told him all the time. And he said he's got a deer stand down in the back if I want to take it down, and I can have it for free. So I got this 2-seater. We came and hung it at this brand new spot, and it all came together. So I mean, that's like the best feeling in the world right there. Man, I mean, your heart's pumping. It's going 1,000 miles an hour, and just to see that arrow go in that deer, yes. I can't get over it. Well, I just got out of the stand, so I'm gonna walk over there and see if I can't find any blood or anything like that. So standing. Boom, baby. Boom. Yes. Look right here, guys. It's a good sign. That's a good sign. Good deal. Good deal. You can see where he came. You nailed him. Yeah, you definitely nailed him. So my family and my friends, they all knew how much this deer meant to me. It's all I talked about, just day after day after day. Like I would, every time my phone would go off and it was a picture of him, I would just be like, "Hey, look, here he is." And they knew my strategy. They knew I was supposed to go in there and hopefully see that deer opening evening. And for it to come together opening morning, and for them to get that phone call at 6 a.m. opening day to say I shot a deer of a lifetime, it's just crazy. They were as speechless as I was. I couldn't hardly even stand up. I felt like I was gonna fall out of the tree. When I made those phone calls is when it really sunk in that I had just killed that deer. And like I said, they were on their way in a heartbeat. My brother, he had to work, unfortunately, so he was not able to come along the tracking job with me. But I am extremely thankful for the people who were, and the deer ran about 200 yards, and we got to a place where he wasn't bleeding as much, so we all just split up. And I'll never forget the words that I heard my Uncle Jason say. He said, "Trace," and I said, "Yeah." He said, "How much will you give me for him?" And as soon as he said that, it just, the relief that comes over you. And I took about 10 steps, and I just seen his tines just laying in the grass. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Look at that bad boy. Oh my gosh. He must have went up the hill and then came back down. Holy crap.
Show me those pearly whites. Goodness.
That is a beast.
Awesome.
Holy cow.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. You nailed him, buddy.
I never thought it would happen at that stand, like ever. I had zero
The
intentions to see it.
mass is unbelievable. He came down here and bedded down. So see where he went up high?
Yeah. He broke
About
up.
where you split up and started looking. And I was going circle, and I looked and I just seen those tines stuck up. And I was like,
Yeah.
He came down here. Look, I mean, look at him. He came down and bedded down.
Yeah.
And he died.
He was just
That's
going to
exactly
bleed
what
out.
happened. No problem with the velvet. He didn't crash and beat it up. It's immaculate. It's perfect.